Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WWE News and Rumors. I'm your host, Mr. Brandon Hodge. So this video, guys, is brought to you by SeatGeek. So if you guys are looking for tickets for any event in the entire world, doesn't actually even have to be related to wrestling, just need tickets, okay? Use code Hodge on SeatGeek and save yourselves $20 freaking of your money. Guys, we're going to jump into this episode with the first news story. The first news story of the day is going to be about none other than the dead man. None other than the Undertaker. So the Undertaker this is just crazy. This is just crazy to think about. I can't even believe I'm going to say this. Undertaker is starting his own podcast. Yeah, you heard me right. Undertaker, the dead man, is hosting his own podcast. It's crazy. So I don't think this is like a podcast kind of podcast deal. This is more of a WWE Network kind of special talk show kind of thing. Kind of similar to the Broken Skulls thing or whatever Stone Cold did before that. He had something different. I think it was just called the Stone Cold Paul Show or something, Stone Cold Podcast. And basically, it's that kind of deal. It could change into like an actual podcast, but still, this is just crazy to even think about because Undertaker was someone who never broke character. He's never going to sit down and talk to anyone. He could be going to rise up and kill somebody and go back into his casket. Like, what are you talking about? So this is nuts, but apparently it will be on Peacock. It'll be available sometime within the next few months. He's going to have different guests on. He's going to talk to them, and yeah, Undertaker's the host, which is just crazy, absolutely crazy to think about, but it's 100% legitimately, gonna happen. Alright, let's jump to the next news story. The next news story is about that WWE pay-per-view I was talking about that's gonna be taking place in the UK. So all you UK fans, if you're watching this, it's like 11 o'clock at night over there, so I'm sorry about the time that sometimes I upload really late over here. But basically, the WWE pay-per-view will be taking place in Wales, actually in the Principality Stadium. Hopefully I said that right. In the UK in Wales. So that is where the pay-per-view is going to be. It's going to be this September. There is no official day announced yet, and I'm not sure how they're doing this. I'm pretty sure the pay-per-view will not be live for us here in the States unless they're doing it at noon, which they do for Saudi. So maybe they'll do it for the UK as well. But as for UK fans, they're not going to throw them in there at the show starting at 11 at night. So it's definitely going to be a different time area if it's going to be live here in the States, so we will see what's going to happen. But yeah, UK Principality Stadium in Wales. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what they're going to pull off. But yeah, the first pay-per-view happening over there in literally a very, very long time. Alright, so that's actually the only confirmed news stories that I talked to you guys about today. But don't go anywhere, guys. Go ahead and get your juice boxes out. Get your juice boxes ready, because it is now time to talk about some juicy rumors. Alright, the first rumor is about Gunther. I don't want to call him Gunther. It's Walter, okay? It's Walter. But anyway, I guess I have to call him Gunther now because we're never going to be able to refer to the guy as Walter. Can I just change it? Like the crowd still screams Walter at the guy, even though his name's Gunther now. It's just stupid. But anyway, the rumor I have here about Gunther, if you will, is basically he's lost a lot of weight. He's gotten a really good ring shape, and the reason for this is they basically told him, Walter, Gunther, dude, if you want to be on the main roster, you got to drop the weight. We got to have you slim. And he was that size, I believe, actually on purpose, because he talked about this in an interview, saying that I always personally found the bigger guys may not have the best physique in the world, but the larger guys more terrifying than the smaller, really in shape, showing all their abdominal muscles or whatever kind of guys. And he's always said he found that more, but he said he gets the times are changing with the look of a professional wrestler or whatever, and he has to change with the times if he wants to go anywhere. So basically that's it. Apparently someone, I don't know who, someone gave him the dumb line down in NXT saying, Gunther, Walter, if you want to be on the main roster, you have to get skinny. You have to be slim because Vince McMahon only puts slim people on his show or something. It's like, well, that's not even remotely true, for one, but for two, what? Are you stupid? Sure, Walter, Gunther, dude, he's leaned down. I mean, the guy is smaller now, but, he looks more aesthetically pleasing, if you will, I guess. But yeah, it's just really messed up, but basically that's the only reason he really lost it. They told him he had to lose it. He was perfectly happy and probably was that size on purpose because he personally liked that look and thought that look was just menacing and terrifying, being like, what is this guy going to be capable of doing? You don't know. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the backstage rumor on the whole Gunther weight loss thing. Alright, the next rumor is about our tribal chief and our undisputed Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns, basically, I don't know where to begin with this. We have a few rumors to talk about with him. So basically, Reigns has won his WrestleMania match against the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar. He got injured in the match, right? Like, that's what we all were saying. His shoulder popped out. We saw that. His shoulder popped out in the Kimura lock. He immediately finished the match as soon as his shoulder popped out because he's like, I'm hurt. A spear, and then 1, 2, 3, it's over with, and then he grabs the the rope after the match. You can see him pop his shoulder back in, and then that was it. And he was struggling to hold up the title. Like, he could hold it up on the one arm, but he put up his other arm, and it just he had a little trouble getting it high or whatever, and it was in pain. And the next night on Raw, tries to hold up the title, same thing. He's still in pain. He's like, and just struggling to get that arm up or whatever. So everyone's like, yeah, he's legitimately injured. You could see it. It didn't look like he was trying to make it obvious or anything. You could just see the pain on his face. But now this rumor is saying, this is from backstage sources saying, Roman's not injured. His shoulder did not pop out during the match, and the match was not ended early. So apparently this was the plan the whole time. It said if we look on paper, we can clearly see the Roman versus Brock match was supposed to last 12 minutes, and it lasted 12 minutes. There was nothing that went wrong. We did not end the match early or anything. This is just typical for a Brock Lesnar match for them to be shorter like that. And that was the plan this entire time. His shoulder did not pop out. There was no injury. There is no worry whatsoever. This was completely storyline and completely scripted for him to pretend to pop out a shoulder and then pretend to pop it back in and pretend to be in pain after the match or whatever. So, I don't know if I believe that, but the same, is Roman that good at selling to make everyone be like, oh, he's so screwed. Hopefully he's not going to have to drop the titles because he's seriously injured. Like, I don't know what to believe at this point. What do you guys believe? Let me know in the comments. Do you think Roman's shoulder actually popped out? It's a complete work. Let me know in the comments. This is just, like, nuts. Like, okay, the match did not end early. His shoulder did not pop out. He's fine, and it's all a work. What? Really? Really? Okay, I'll admit you got me on this one. You absolutely got me. Alright, the next rumor is also about Roman Reigns, our tribal chief and our undisputed Universal Champion. So this one is about, what's his schedule going to be? Like, what is the deal? So, Roman's always been the SmackDown guy, but now he's won the Raw Championship, if you will, as well. The WWE Championship was typically always on Raw, and now he has both titles. So what's going to happen? Is Roman going to be on Raw every week or every other week, or both titles just move to SmackDown? What's going on? Well, I would imagine, since we have competing television networks, competing like television contracts, that Roman would have to be on both shows, and I don't know if he could be on one more than the other, being the champion, because they want the title on, like, their title, right? So it's kind of a mess, and they're still figuring out the logistics of this, and they're figuring out what's going to happen, and I don't think it's going to come to the point of Roman having to drop the title, because his schedule's not going to allow that, but we will have to wait and see what happens. I don't see him losing the title anytime soon. He's going to hold on to him at least till SummerSlam, I would imagine. But as for him being on Raw and SmackDown, I would imagine he has to be on both, but the guy's schedule, like, literally, like, doubles. Like, sure, he was on house shows or whatever, but if we're just looking at his television schedule alone, he was on television once a week for the most part, unless there was a pay-per-view that week. Once a week, he's on television and has to work on TV. But now, if he's having to be on both shows, that pretty much doubles his workload. And I don't want to say they're not doubling his money or whatever. The dude's making an astronomical amount of money, probably one of the highest paid people in the professional wrestling business in the current day. So it's hard to whine about money or whatever, but still it's kind of dumb for him just working one day and doing all this. So we'll definitely have to wait and see what happens with that. They're still figuring it out themselves, so there's nothing to really guess about. They're still figuring it out. So we're just waiting for them to figure it out and see what's going to happen with Roman and his schedule and how the Raw and SmackDown thing is going to work. So I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear something or as soon as they even decide anything. Alright guys, this will be the final news, this will be the final rumor, this will be the final thing I'll be talking about inside this episode of WWE News and Rumors. So this is about SummerSlam. So SummerSlam 2022 will be in Nashville, Tennessee. Wow, that just feels so good to say. We're getting a large pay-per-view here in Tennessee. My home state of Tennessee, if you guys don't know, I'm from Bristol, Tennessee. I'm about 4 hours from Nashville. What goes without saying, I will be making that 4-hour drive, and I'll be going to Nashville for SummerSlam this July 30th, so almost August, pretty much. But basically, what is the rumors for SummerSlam? What's the plans for SummerSlam? Well, as of right now, the time of this recording, the backstage connections are saying that they absolutely have zero plans for SummerSlam. In fact, there's not even a single match planned right now for SummerSlam. We don't even know if Roman's going in as the champion right now because things change so much. I would guess that Roman is going in as the champion. He's going to be challenging someone, or someone's going to be challenging him, I should say. So they don't know. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. There's literally nothing for SummerSlam. Their planning is not that far ahead. Probably sometime, it could be even this week or within the next few weeks, they'll be deciding what's happening at SummerSlam, at least the main event they'll have planned out. Because that is the next big pay-per-view and they have absolutely nothing for right now. So as soon as I hear something and they decide something, I'll let you know for that as well. But as of right now, SummerSlam 2022 has absolutely no plans, no planned matches, nothing planned other than it's going to be in Nashville and it's taking place on July 30th, 2022. So there you guys have it. That's going to do it for this episode of WWE News Rumors. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I am your king of Vlogstyle, Brandon Hodge, and I will see you guys in the next video.